Hi, I'm Josh with SafeSmartSocial.com. Today's video will be titled 3 Tips to Raising Digital Natives. I'm so honored and excited to have an expert on with us today, Devorah Heitner, PhD, and she's going to teach us 3 tips that we can use to raise digital natives. Devorah, welcome to the video.
Thanks so much. It's great to be with you today.
Well, walk us through tip number 1, asking our children before we share their image. Walk us through that first tip, please.
Well, we're the first creators of our kids' digital footprint. And unless you're a child celebrity, you probably have more pictures of your children on your smartphone right now than might exist of your entire childhood. So we're really creating a huge digital record of our kids before they even get on social media themselves. And we want to be thoughtful about that. And a great way to be thoughtful and put the brakes on for ourselves is to start asking our children for permission when they're old enough to ask. So when they're too young to ask, we just need to use our own best judgment. You know, potty training pictures, bathtub pictures, those are great for those family album before your child brings home their future spouse. You can embarrass them with those, but you don't really need to share those with the world. But as they get older, in the sort of run-up before they're getting on their own social media, as they get to be 8, 9, 10 years old, as they start to understand the implications of sharing images, it's really important to ask before you share their image. And that gives them a sense of control that's really good. It's also modeling a real consideration that you want them to show their friends, and you want them to expect that of their peers as well. So by giving them veto power, you're also encouraging them to see their image as something that they can veto someone else sharing. And that's a really empowering feeling for kids.
I like how you also said your daughter will feel empowered to say, don't share that when someone else takes a photo of her, because the parent, you, have modeled think before you share and think before other people get to take a picture of you. So I think that's really great. Walk us through tip number 2, teaching your kid to be a good real life friend, not just a digital friend or follower. What do you mean by that?
Sometimes it feels like we're helping our friends out when we make nice comments on their social media posts. But if a friend is truly in trouble, if they're posting something that could get them in trouble, or they're posting something that shows that they are actually having a problem, they're very depressed, they're hurting themselves, they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or they're in a lot of pain, and they're clearly reaching out for help, it can feel like we've been a good friend if we comment on their post and say, oh, honey, you don't hurt yourself, or you don't need to feel that way, everyone loves you. And that's a nice thing to do, but that's not enough. If your friend is really in trouble, you need to let someone know, and that person is probably an adult in your shared community, whether that's someone at school, your own parents, your friends' parents. You shouldn't be just a friend in the digital space when it's serious.
That's really great. You're so right. And you also said, I love how you said, get off your phone and find a trusted adult at home or school and let them know what's happening really quickly. That's so important to disconnect. Walk us through tip number 3. This is probably my favorite, and I think you've taught me a lot on this one. Create unplugged zones in your home and in your family's life together. Can you give us an example of that?
Absolutely. So for younger kids, that could be making sure that the dress-up clothes or the musical instruments are in as comfy and attractive and obvious a space in your house as the TV, the video games, and the computer, because sometimes the best spaces in our house get all the electronics, and then that's where everyone congregates. As your kids get older, you want to be the house where your children's friends can come over, and you're confident enough as a parent to say, hey, everybody, let's unplug for this slumber party, and let's do something messy where, you know, we really don't want our phones in here while we're making pizza. We want to get our hands dirty. We don't need to be taking pictures of everything we create. We can just do it, right? We can dive right into this project, and also be free to collect their phones and maybe walk away. Give them some space. A lot of kids are hanging out on social media because they want space from adults. And they need that space to hang out with each other. It just doesn't need to be in the digital world only.
Yeah, so I think you did a great job of saying not only model focused conversation and hangout time that's one-on-one, but you create a pizza hangout time or making cookies or cooking time, which most kids aren't doing these days. I love that. And it puts the focus on something exciting that doesn't include phones. Maybe your hands are too messy while you're making cookies. That's really great. So we've talked about asking your child before you share their image, teach your kid to be a real life friend, not just a digital friend or follower, and then last, creating unplugged zones in the house. so that other things other than the TV or digital devices are more fun. Devorah, I really want to thank you for being on this call.
Thanks so much.
It's an honor to have you. And those of you that are watching this video, you can learn more at safesmartsocial.com, where we show kids that social media can be good if you use a very simple formula to impress colleges and employers by volunteering, taking quality, classy pictures, and really creating a portfolio around who you are and your lifestyle instead of making it a pastime. I'm Josh Oakes. I'm so honored to have you here. You can learn more at Safe Smart Social. And as always, keep it light, bright, and polite. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you soon.